Yo, what's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine.
And I'm still James.
And we are here for our movie review of Hobbs and Shaw. I wanted to get it in sooner, but sorry, it was a little busy, but we finally got a chance to see it, and we're gonna give you our review on it. But before I do that, got an intro. All right. We back. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Sorry you had a little technical difficulties the first time, but we got it together now, I think. But, okay, Hobbs and Shaw is the latest addition to the Fast and Furious franchise. This is a spinoff of Fast and the Furious, would you say, or would this be a continuation?
Spinoff.
Yeah, because it's rumored that The Rock and Vin Diesel don't get along or some shit.
Yeah.
Like the whole ensemble are not really that close no more, or whatever. I think I don't know if that was a fake thing where Tyrese and The Rock had this little beef going on, like on Twitter and all this stuff. I don't know if that was a fake little thing, but it was something with that too.
I mean, I know it was ridiculous. I don't know if it was fake or not.
Right. And, before this, they was talking about making a spinoff with Tyrese and Ludacris. And that's where I heard where the beef come from, where The Rock was like, you know what, that's a good idea. I'm marketable, Tyrese ain't. So he just like kind of stole his, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He basically just stole his position.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I really don't I never liked Tyrese's character, so like
I don't like Roman Pierce?
Nah.
I'm Roman Pierce, man. His character wasn't that bad. His character always ain't been that bad, but he don't deserve his own movie.
Because like he doesn't really bring them to the table. He's another driver,
Yeah, I mean, and that's the whole thing. When they put this ensemble together, everybody had a specialty, and people like, what's Tyrese's specialty actually is originally what the series started out to be. He's a driver. You know what I'm saying? You got the hacker, which I don't know how Ludacris turned out to be this super hacker dude, where he used to be like a promoter, like he was like a race promoter on part 2, I think, and right. So now he like a super hacker dude. And then you got the girl hacker, which you got 2 hackers. Why you need 2 hackers? I don't know. And then you had, I guess The Rock was the muscle. Vin Diesel is the muscle. Then
you got 2 of everything.
That's why they didn't get along. It's like, nigga, hold up. I'm supposed to be the big bald black dude. What? I'm the big bald black dude. No problem. You got 2 sharks in one tank. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
But anyway... But anyway, we got Hobbs and Shaw, man. This spinoff Fast and Furious. We're gonna go ahead and check out this trailer real quick, so people can get a good idea of what this movie was that haven't seen it. So we're gonna check the trailer out, then we're gonna come back with our review. I call bullshit on that one.
Yeah.
He would have been so good.
We're all going.
Right?
I said, we're all going.
Also, I call bullshit on The Rock being able to fit in the back of a damn McLaren.
Is he doing what I think he's doing?
There ain't no way. You can't fit a damn pit. Look, you can't fit a pit bull in the back of that damn McLaren. How you fit a Rock?
Man, look, the little transforming motorcycle kind of dope.
Yeah. I wonder how many people he killed going through that bus, though.
Like, he killed
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
There's 2 of them and $2 billion worth of us.
If the 3 of us don't work together, Billions of people will die.
Your sister is one of the toughest, baddest, most capable women I've ever encountered.
No one could do it better.
My kind of girl.
I see what you're doing. You think I'm stupid?
Of course I think you're stupid.
Oh, H to the OB.
Yeah.
Thing ain't lie. I done came through the block and everything that's fly. I'm like, I never claimed I had wings on.
Woo! We're gonna need cars and guns.
Oh, I can handle that part.
Hey man, you know what we need to do one of these days is start going through all the Fast and Furious movies and point out every time folks should have been completely dead.
You're gonna get one Samoan ass rupee.
I'm like Superman.
Here comes a kryptonite.
Family never gives up.
Fresh out the frying pan into the fire. Oh,
No, this is not good.
We're going for a ride.
you actors like movie
It's
directors.
Fast and Furious, you guys talk about family, man.
Either love me or leave me alone. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is.
You know what? Yeah. But you know what? I hate to say it. Well, no, I don't. It's always weird going back to these trailers. It's like 2 to 4 plot points away from being the entire movie. Like,
All right, we back. We just watched the Fast and the Furious Hobbs and Shaw trailer, and that trailer gave a lot away when I just watched it.
Yeah.
So,
like it was like 2, maybe 4 plot points away from being the entire movie right there.
yeah, probably. The movie is simple as fuck. So
Yeah.
first of all, you don't need to sit down and make a big analysis of this. I mean, this is your typical summer blockbuster movie plot. It's a virus that could wipe out mankind. Okay, I'm trying to say it with straight face. It's a virus that can wipe out mankind, and they need, and the bad guys wanted to use it, right?
Yep.
So Brixton, Idris Elba character is, as you saw on the other trailer, I should have got that first trailer. It was just too long. Superhuman, bulletproof. So Brixton been upgraded.
Hey,
by
and
these-
don't forget, he's Black Superman.
Man, okay. We knew what we was getting into. So I'm not going to sit here and start complaining about how simple the plot was. The plot is straightforward. And this is how these movies are, these blockbuster movies are. It's a fate of the world. The good guys always get a small window to save the world, and that's where they do their best work.
Yeah.
So, okay. Like I said, your villain, which I was a little disappointed that who was the villain? Like,
Technically, the whole what was it, Ethion?
right, it was like an organization. So it was like some secret organization that's supposed to be like the Illuminati or some shit. And I was like, oh no, I know they ain't going here, but okay. Even went so far as to do kind of like a James Bond thing where you don't see the person, you just hear their voice. So who knows where they are? They could be in space. That might be where they go to put them in space on the next movie.
I mean, they have to go to space at some point, man. You know they're going to.
That's probably where the bad guys are at. Said, we tracked their signal. They're in space. Hold on. And look, they always got a friend that knows how to do something. I got a friend that can get us there.
It's like, look, I know some people, all right?
Yeah.
I think they can get us there. Well, why don't you call them already?
So you got, he used to be an astronaut, but he's got disgraced, but he still knows his stuff. It's like, okay.
No. This is Fast and Furious, remember. So it's going to be, well, he used to pilot shuttles for NASA, but he decided what he really wanted was own his own nightclub.
Yeah. And then they
It's
cut
gonna be
to a
something
scene where they
ridiculous
show
like that.
girls just dancing, fat
Yeah.
big booty girls dancing.
Well, remember, this is Fast and Furious. There's gonna be some skinny booty girls.
Yeah, exotic. So, okay. So let's talk about the action. So we got the plot out the way. I mean,
Right?
it's a virus, and they need to stop the virus from. And the bad guys want the virus to let it go. They don't want no money. They just want to shoot the virus off. So let's talk about the action. I'll tell you what. Like I told you on the scene, Idris Elba got this little pet. He got like a little pet motorcycle that just come when he call it or something. That boy just pull up zoo, and he jump on or whatever. That was kind of cool. I kind of like that dynamic.
That was dope. I like that.
I like the dynamic
like
of it's not really a pet, but it's kind of like I don't know if everybody had those, but it just felt like that motorcycle was always there when he needed them. like all right, I gotta go somewhere. Zoom, and the motorcycle just appeared.
Also, that kind of acted as like one that tells like which one of the Ethion's thugs you was looking at, because it's like his visor was a little different, and his was the only bike you ever see transform. I don't know if all their bikes were supposed to be or not, but his was the only one you saw. It was doing the most.
Right.
Like,
so yeah, as you saw in the trailer, it kind of transformed a little bit. And did they make the little transformer noise?
It did. It did. I was watching the movie and I'm like, wait, did they just? Is this like literally a transformer?
I'm like,
is that sideways?
They are trying to merge these movies, I guess, man.
Wait, give them time, man.
Oh yeah,
give
that's
them
what I'm
time.
saying. They probably just gonna transform around them and have a robot body.
Like, look, I can see it already, man.
They're not gonna stop. So it don't
like they
matter.
probably gonna get someone. The Rock came punched in the face. His truck gonna transform around him. Bring it on, you son of a bitch.
I know, so bitch. So anyway, man, that was kind of a cool little scene, you know. But let me ask you this: how'd you feel about the banter between The Rock and Jason Statham?
You know what?
Because I mean, the movie is sold on them two not liking each other, so the comedy is got to be how we don't like each other. Let's keep on going at each other, you know, the whole movie.
Have you ever been stuck on a plane next to a married couple that's having the same fight they've been having for the past like decades?
Dude, I'd be so mad. Nobody wants to hear this shit.
Like that's kind of what they feel like. It's like, dude, oh, not this again.
Dude, and it's funny you should talk about the plane scene because it was a cameo, and I actually did not mind it. Should I bring that up or should I leave that a spoiler?
You know what? Let's leave that in. I want to leave that in for the people, man.
You saying you want to talk about it or you don't want me to say it? Who it was?
Let's not go in on it. Let's not go in on it. I want them to enjoy that when they get to it.
So it was a little cameo.
That might be the best part of the movie, matter of fact.
It was a cameo, and usually this dude kind of get on my nerve, but this time, because I actually like this guy, and sometimes get on my nerve, but the cameo he had was actually pretty good, and it was at a real good time because it was kind of like what you thinking, like all right, just both of y'all shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they banter, man, got to a point where I was like, okay. Y'all have such clever banter that you can tell writers have wrote this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody just talk like this. Like they don't run out of cool shit to say to each other.
Right. Like also, like whenever you get reminded every now and again, these two are trained operators. Like they go in, they get the job done, they go out. And you tell me y'all can't put yourself aside to save the world.
I know. And it's like y'all professionals. You gotta work with people you don't like all the time. You get the job done, and then you worry about that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But it got to a point where it's getting a little out of hand. It was a little too much for me. The point where I was like, okay, first of all, y'all already did this, and then y'all became friends in the other movie. Now y'all going back to, I hate this guy. I'll never work with this guy. So, okay, you get that shit out the way early, and then you move on. I'll give you another team up movie. You probably haven't seen this one, or it's probably Tango and Cash, where they started off. I can't stand this guy. But when push came to shove, this movie's pretty much on that level. When push came to shove, they got cool. They was working together because they had to. It's just the whole movie, the whole time they just making these back and forth shit, and it was like got to a point where I was like, all right, y'all, enough, fellas. Enough, fellas. It is like they just kept going. So
it's and what made it even worse was multiple characters in the movie took the time out to tell them, "Hey, y'all need to quit this. You know you're trying to save the world right now, right?"
I know. Matter of fact, a few people said that. You know, it's like y'all can't even get along. It's like.
Wait, the bad guy even said.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, dude. It just get to a point where I get the joke. You know what I'm saying? It's like you get the joke, but you keep driving it in. Say, no, you ain't heard this yet. Let me wait. You ain't heard the joke yet. It's like, dude, I get the joke. You know what I'm saying? We can move on to the next thing. You can come back and revisit this, but get off the same shit. But that was one of my issues of many. One of my issues with the writing, man. The banter was kind of funny. It was funny, but then it got to a point where it was just too much. It was like, okay, y'all can focus on something else. It's like that's the only conversation they ever had with each other is insults. Like
that's it. That's it. I think like a good 70% of this movie was just them insulting each other.
Yeah. So, what was the his sister name? What was the female name?
Hattie. I think that's what he called her, Hattie, something like that.
Well, she did an okay job. She got overshadowed by two big motherfuckers, but she got overshadowed by them guys. To me, she was kind of just there.
Yeah, like all of her best scenes came like before they got like fully into the story.
Yeah. I did think she was cool though. I think she was capable, and excuse me. I think she was very capable, and then she actually did a good job, and she kind of played off them pretty good. But like I said, she got overshadowed because after a while, I kind of forgot about her because it was just them two big muscly motherfuckers taking up the whole screen. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and then they tossed a couple other big muscle dudes on the movie. So,
you talking about the Samoan shit?
Yeah,
we're gonna get to that, man, because that scene. I mean, it was a decent scene, but it didn't even need to be there. I ain't gonna lie, because it was like it felt like the movie was over when it was like maybe a 3/4 of the way through, and it felt like it was over. And I was like, you know what? You ended right here. This would actually be kind of good. And they kept going. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about.
You gotta know, man, because it was actually like a typical movie climax, a typical action movie climax scene that was going on. Everything would have been wrapped up. Like you didn't need to have this extra. Everything would have been wrapped up right here. And then it was like an hour and a half in, and I was like, you know what? That's cool. Hour and a half, good action movie. I don't need 2 hours and 15 minutes. But they decided to give it. You know what? Just sit down. Let me give you 45 more minutes. You're like, no, man, I'm ready to go.
Like
bro.
you just sitting there, it's like, hey, this has been an okay movie. Oh, we ain't done.
Yeah,
we ain't done.
So you
we
like
got
that?
a little more for you.
You like
Sit
that?
back down.
We got 45 more minutes. Like, no, man. Sometimes you got to know when to get your ass out. You got to know and say, thank you, good night.
I'm gonna tell you what it actually feels like. What it actually feels like. The ending. It feels like the ending is coming up. And then someone said, "Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I was supposed to put on the reel with the alternative ending. Let me just switch this real quick." And then you get the extra 45 minutes that was supposed to be in place of the last 45 minutes you just saw.
Yeah, dude. It was a bit much on that. The runtime was actually a little too long. But we could talk a little bit more about the stunts or whatever.
All right.
Did you care for? Well, I mean, the action was good. Did some of the stuff that was happening take you out because of how unreal it was, or was it just fun enough for you? Just like, all right, I'm gonna go with it.
it was a mixed bag for me because a lot of it, like, I had to keep bringing myself back from saying that couldn't. You know what? This ain't that kind of movie.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you
not
what.
going.
Well, go ahead and finish. I'm gonna tell you what. I was cool with everything until one scene happened, dude. When you saw it on the trailer when he jumped down the rope, when they running down the when they running down the building, man.
Hey, look. So can I just say, first of all, that dude had no hands left.
Man.
Like, he ain't wearing no sapper gloves or nothing. He just jumped right on the rope and slid his ass down.
But you know what? I think what they was saying he was doing was he just held on to the rope because the rope was descending. So he just held on to it.
I don't know if I buy that.
Right. Well, basically they saying he held on to it and then he let go and then caught the guy in midair.
Which again,
This is
I
real. So no, we're gonna make it real for you. We're gonna have him let go of the rope and then fall. And his trajectory is not gonna go off at all. He's gonna land
gonna be
right on the
laser
guy.
guided, man. Ain't you ever seen a laser guided human before?
Dude, I'm telling you, when they stood up when they stood up at the at that window, I sure was thinking of other guys when they jumped out that building and they I was like,
Wait,
in this movie
wasn't
right
the Rock?
here.
Look, wasn't the Rock one of those cops?
Yes. Zip lines. You think what I'm thinking, partner? Aim for the bushes. Man, we could have ended this movie right here.
Right there. Right
We just
there.
ended this shit,
Oh,
man,
God.
and had these dumbasses jump out this building and just end this shit.
And but look, in that moment, one of their lackeys has to take over for them, and that's the movie.
No, and then the next scene, they got like Ryan Reynolds at the funeral and shit. I was his best friend. Yeah, and that was one of the cameos. I'm sorry, I didn't want to. I'm sorry I let that slip, but it was a few cameos from a lot of people. I guess they all got deals with Universal, so it's the Universal family. But yeah, stuff like that, man, was it was cool. I wasn't. I found myself not that impressed with all the action. I mean, it was cool, but it was like I don't know. It didn't move me. I didn't say, "Damn, that's so badass." Probably half of the reason is they showed a lot of the best stuff on the trailer. Second half is I seen it most of all this before, so it's like, all right, it's cool. I'm having some fun with it, but it wasn't like groundbreaking. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that I haven't seen before that just made my eyes bug out. But
there just wasn't a lot worth talking about in this movie.
Yeah, dude. I just was not that, and I thought Idris Elba did actually a good job for what he had to work with. But what he had to work with was shit, man. His character was pretty much like an underboss. He was just like, I guess he was kind of like Vader almost, but he was kind of like a character that was just being used like everybody else. I was like, it's kind of that
was probably the single most disappointing thing about this movie was that he wasn't really the villain.
Right, that's what I'm saying. He was just putting in the work for somebody
really,
else.
Like, really, once you break down his character is not even a villain. He's a stooge. Yeah,
he's just a mercenary or whatever, and it was like, that's disappointing. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was going to be the one orchestrating this shit,
Yeah.
But he had some good, cool little fights, whatever. It was just, it kind of killed me that when he had the little, I guess it was contact lens, or maybe he got some new eyes or whatever. But he had the little way of reading people fight moves and all that shit. And I'm like, why is it taking them so long to figure out to do something different? They kept just coming at him with a. It's like they just kept coming in with. They just kept coming in trying to punch him every time. When you realize, okay, this dude's superhuman, we can't just have a. It's like, are you really dumb? Like, I know people call him dumb because he's so big, but it's like, now you acting like a dummy. It's like, why?
You know what? They're both dumb. They're both so dumb in this flick, man.
I'm like, dude. I mean, I know they need it for the movie to look cool, but I'm like, okay, any character, if you try to punch somebody, 8 times and you keep on, you know the dude's superhuman. He reads your moves. Try something else. Try kicking him or throw something at him or something. They kept doing the same shit.
And look, and neither of the characters in this movie who were raised by a criminal ever thought to cheat.
Yeah. It was. They did answer a question I had. Why don't they just shoot them? They kind of they had a little workaround for that, but it came into play later. Early on, they didn't have no good reason not to shoot, other than I'm gonna wait my turn to get knocked out. It's like shoot him from a distance. Can you do that? That is what a gun is for, right? When you don't have a knife, when a person too far, a gun will get the job done, right? That's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
Anyway. On the whole, like I said, it ain't much to talk about for us. The plot is the same. I mean, it's your average summer blockbuster, say the world plot. With I'm gonna talk about where I thought it's. So you got to a part where I guess it's middle of the movie where everything looked like it's about to be wrapped up, and then they just went to a whole nother sequence. Was like another 30 minutes or so. It was so unnecessary. And I tried to stay with it. I mean, it was cool. Had some cool little moments in there, but other than that, it was what it was. It was just okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it my rating, dude. If you're looking for an action movie with some laughs, this would be a good video. I ain't gonna say a good video on demand movie. This a good movie to sit back and watch with your friends, and when you're not really like all the way paying attention to it, and you can just kind of just like enjoy some of the action moments. So I give this movie all right. That was my feeling throughout the whole thing. It's all right. I was disappointed. I was hoping Idris Elba had a more important role. I was hoping to see some action that I haven't seen before, and I wanted The Rock and Jason Statham relationship to feel more real. It felt like they was written. It felt like somebody wrote they responses to each other. It was so quirky. It didn't feel real. You know what I'm saying? Like every time they talk to each other, it felt like somebody let me write down a clever joke to say to this guy. Oh, I'm gonna write down a clever response. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't real and organic to me. Yeah. So for that, I was disappointed. So I did give it all right though, because action was enough to keep me entertained. What'd you give it?
You know what? I give it an all right. You know, you said exactly the overall takeaway from this movie. Not realistic. Nothing in this is realistic. It's just a cool,
you already
dumb
know it's not realistic
action
going into,
movie.
man. You already know it's not realistic. I'm the people that's talking shit, but
I know. They gonna say it, but it's like there is no suspension of disbelief because you can't jump a shark when you're already 50,000 feet in the air. Okay, so it's like you can't surprise me by going up because I already know you don't know how to come down below this overly high threshold. So it's just a cool, dumb, fun action flick.
Right. Didn't have that much heart. I mean, they had some scenes at the end. I think some scenes with his family, with Rock family, actually was a little moving. But other than that, which the scenes with him and his other main co-star, I was supposed to feel that more than with the side characters, but I didn't feel that. So
when those two were apart, the movie went up.
Yeah, you might have a point there.
Like,
if they would have just gave it, if it was just about Rock going home, if it was about Luke Hobbs going home, then you know what? I bet you there was 2 movies that they had decided to do, and they was like, let's put them together.
You know what? I bet you both of those movies would have been great.
Yeah. They were like, no, fuck that. Let's put them together.
The Hobbs family reunion.
Right.
And the Shaw redemption.
Yeah. The Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. What you give it? Did you give it a rating?
Yeah, it gets an all right for me.
Yeah. It was all right because it was fun enough to keep me engaged, but it was they missed the mark on a lot of shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
And
sure.
like I was saying, all they needed was just a little more realness between Hobbs and Shaw to maybe bring it home. You know, for me to bring it up a notch. But they didn't, man. It was just witty banter written by a trained professional writer. Nobody talks to each other like that. So
I do know this. Once I start making some money, I'm gonna hire a writer just to write my intakes.
right. Anybody talk shit about you talk shit about me, I got a writer that's gonna write all kind of responses. So you know what I'm saying? All right, man. That is our review for the Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious Hobbs and Shaw. Not bad movie. It's actually still kind of fun. You know, it's a cool little date movie. Please don't bring your brain. Leave your brain at home. Leave your brain at home, and you can have some fun watching it. But yeah, you get an all right from both of us. All right, we're gonna move on, man. We're gonna